People often ask me, Bulldozer, where do you get your militaria from the First and the Second World War? And usually these same people expect me to tell them about a militaria website I didn't know yet about or a militaria fair. But in fact, I rarely buy from these places. To be honest, I prefer to go to regular antique markets or flea markets instead to find stuff to add to my collection. So in this video, I will show you how much militaria there is to find at a conventional antique market, the one in Tongeren, Belgium, that takes place every Sunday morning of the year. And I already immediately found the first items. This is a British shell from the Second World War dated 1943 that was shot by the 3.7-inch anti-aircraft gun. And standing right next to the other, I found an American World War II 40mm M25 shell casing. And I already know what a lot of you are thinking right now.
Actually, shell casings are not that rare at all and not interesting.
Wait a second and get a grip. This is only the beginning. There's a lot more cool stuff coming right now. This is a very beautiful looking gun cleaning kit. This cleaning kit would be perfect to complete your German reenactment impression from the Second World War. And because it is complete, you would still be able to use this cleaning kit to clean your weapons after an event.
So during this time of winter, the market is a little bit less than usual, but there is still quite a lot underground, for example, in this underground parking lot and right across the street in a big indoor hall. So there is still quite a lot, but less on the street outside.
Thank you for the explanation of which we could only understand half of what you were saying. Either way, in the underground parking lot we did immediately find some cool stuff like these bayonets laying there and the musket rifles. And as you can see, this guy is in an amazing condition. And on the table next to the bayonets, there was this beautiful medic pouch from the Germans from the Second World War, which was in an insane condition and featured a name on the inside as well. And also on this table, there was this other German pouch dated 1941 with a German peace pigeon also stamped on it. And next to the pouches, there were two in pristine condition Arbeitsbücher from the Third Reich period as well. It had names of people and stamps of companies from where the person who had this Arbeitsbuch worked during the 30s and 40s. Very interesting. And as everywhere else there is militaria, you have to watch out for very expensive fake items. And also in this underground parking lot, there was this British Brodie helmet from the Second World War, which would be perfect for reenactment or as a display.
We're gonna now go into the other hall with some more stuff.
And immediately upon entering the hall, I found this pair of good condition World War I British officers' gaiters. And on the table next to that, I found this fork and spoon featuring a World War II peace pigeon. And at the same table, I found this perfect condition dated 1941 Swiss Tornister. Hop Schweiz, ja. After that, it was time to continue my quest for militaria outside next to the Roman walls of this beautiful city. Then immediately I found some ice skates that are similar to the ones I already have from the Second World War, which I made a video about on my TikTok channel, by the way. And whilst taking a look at beautiful pocket watches, I found something I would call rather interesting.
You're ruining it.
Someone made a weird shape out of the shell casing from 1938. And then I found, sitting among other helmets, this beautiful Luftschutz helmet from the Second World War, which still had its original paint job. Because of the great condition of this helmet, just by placing a new decal and fitting a new liner inside of it, you could restore this helmet to its former glory. But like I just said, next to the Luftschutz helmet, there were also other helmets, like for example this Italian M33 helmet from the Second World War. Sadly, this guy will only fit Quasimodo, as he is quite deformed. The same stand had a lot of old money like this peace pigeon money from the Third Reich, and some more German banknotes from the interbellum period. And furthermore, they also had a couple of different types of bayonets. And they also had a wider range of Soviet and Russian army medals. Anyway, let's move on from that. As you can see, they were also selling an ultra rare Wunderwaffe. And then I stumbled upon this. British World War II. 19, it's overpainted, so 19, I see a 4. Seems like a 0. W, arrow up, D. That's the British Army. And then there's the date 1940, 40. Or 42, can also be 42, but it's certainly something in the 40s. But sadly overpainted. And then you have here from the Belgian Army, Armee Belge Leger. So, yeah. Attached to the antique market, there is this alley full of sheds that are filled to the brim with antique stuff, as you can see. And inside of this little shed, we found something quite remarkable, let's say.
Lenin.
Give this video 1917 likes, and I will attempt to sing the Soviet anthem in the next one. Anyway, that was enough time wasted. Up to the next interesting find of today.
Oh, it's also British. In desert camo. This is actually with original paint on it, 1943 it says. Come look. W arrow D 1943 desert camo. So this is the actual paint job. That's actually very cool. And it's not because of Dunkelgelb. Oh, yes, we struck gold. We have the German jerry can, because jerry can it means German can. The British just had jerry cans, that the same design, same model, same everything as the Germans, and that's why they call it after the Germans. Very cool.
And then in the same building, we found this 1950s or late 1940s postcard of the Berghof, the house of Adolf Hitler. And it was like some kind of before and after picture on it, from like the Berghof when it was looking perfectly fine, when Hitler lived in it, and then afterwards when they blew it up after the war. So yeah, kind of interesting. That's not really a postcard I would be sending home if I would go on a family holiday to Austria. Anyway, the last find of the day were these two bayonets, and here you can see one of them. This is a Kar 98K World War II bayonet. And as you can see, they tried to restore the bayonet by fitting new wooden grip on it, because I think this bayonet was a grand find, but I don't think they did a good job putting a new grip on it. It doesn't look that good. And the other bayonet seems to be a 1907 British World War II pattern bayonet in pristine condition with original wooden grip. And as you can see, everything was still working on it that was supposed to work. Here I'm showing how the gun would be fitted on it. Yeah, beautiful bayonet, would be worth buying.
So as you saw, the flea market in Tongeren, which is a weekly thing, by the way, every Sunday morning of the year, is a very cool antique market that is packed with stuff from the Second and from the First World War. Sadly, I didn't buy anything. The closest that I got to buying something was like the Rijksarbeidsdienst booklets and the medical pouch that was laying there with the name in it. It was very, very cool, but I didn't have the money for it. So if you come here, make sure to bring cash, and yeah, and also don't buy everything at the price that advertise it at. Always try to get the price down a little bit. Anyway, the tower is ringing. Well, it is now past, so that's why. Anyway, it's a great flea market. It's certainly worth it if you're looking for any kinds of antiques, taxidermy, paintings, decorations, but also perfect for finding the helmets and the militaria really. I found many helmets already here before, and I've found many other things from the Second and from the First World War before here, so it's certainly worth it if you're searching for militaria.